Hey, what's good, YouTube? This Raw again, y'all. Today I'm gonna come out with a short video, or who knows? If I feel the spirit, I'll make a part two or whatever. I'm just gonna. I have no notes, so I'm just gonna speak collectively on consciousness and spirituality, especially nowadays. Um, a lot of you may notice that the sun's energy is getting a lot stronger. Many of you think it's getting hotter. It is, but it's not. It's just that things in our atmosphere that's making it feel that way. But by stronger and by hotter, I mean it's getting more energy as far as the gamma rays, the ultraviolet rays, the orgone energy, ultraviolet energy, etc., etc. Um, that has to do with Nibiru. Nibiru's here, and us getting closer to the Sirius constellation. We're getting more energy from other suns. Like I said, everything in space is constantly revolving around each other and getting energy from every single energy source. Um, so a lot of you may have been feeling exhausted. I don't know, maybe it's energized some of you. Um, but anyway, it's all having an effect on our anatomy, our energetic system as far as our chakras and, different energy centers throughout the body. So physiologically, it may give you energy. A lot of you may feel, more empowered, more strength physically as far as being able to work out or whatever you do. It's like coffee without coffee. A lot of you may have been feeling really, really exhausted, taking naps, just feeling kind of drained. What it's doing is it's reactivating those strands of DNA. It's waking a lot of people up that forgot who we were. It's not that you forgot who you are, it's that things are igniting within you. That's not the word I'm looking for. I don't know the word I'm looking for right now, but I'm going to use that word. It's something's igniting within you that you forgot about, but it's reminding you of who you are, who you really are. So you're starting to remember things that you were able to do maybe in past lives or just with the descendants of the gods and descendants of the real Almighty Spirit has always been capable of doing, whether it's spiritually, whether it's energetically or physically. A lot of you are gaining a lot more strength, you know, um, but it's reconnecting those lost strands of DNA, so-called junk DNA. We're getting more percentage of our brains back. What they call the God gene is being reactivated. So basically, we're on a fast track to upgrading. That's exactly what it's doing. And now the sun has a silverish tint to it. Look at it. Look at it now. Just like other stars being made, our sun, you know what? In the way distant past, our sun may have been a super, super giant, as big as a galaxy, but now it shrunk to a brown dwarf, or how other stars throughout the solar system do. So just like us, how we evolve physiologically, energetically, and spiritually, everything in the universe does the same thing, from planets to solar systems to suns to galaxies. They either thrive or a black hole dissolves them. So, what does that mean? That means that for me, like I said, me personally, I've been on this, my spiritual awakening happened in 2009. It went dormant, not dormant for a couple years. Maybe it went away to show me something, like it was recharging to come back and that's exactly what it did. It recharged, came back, and knocked me on my behind. So it came back in 2012, 2013, and that's exactly what it did. So I've been on this journey, not knowing what I'm doing for most of the time. I just kind of went, and I went through some things, especially the dark night of the soul was the most tumultuous time of my life. And I've been through some things, but that was the most difficult thing I've ever had to go through because I didn't have any help. I didn't know what I was doing. I just went through it. But nowadays I know I know what I'm doing with this, you know? So for those of you that are barely waking up, like right now, like at this most pivotal transitional point in really the history of, the God's history on this planet. This is the most pivotal time. And for you to wake up right now, that means something really special must be happening, because for me, honestly, I believe I'm on a level to where if I wanted to, we can, like any other spiritual YouTubers and stuff like that, and people that speak out on these things, we could teach classes on this, especially if you know what you're doing, if you have the right diet, your right intentions, you know about Kundalini, you know about the chakras, you know how to meditate, you know how to breathe, you know how to do different things to enhance your own, to keep it at a maximum level, and to enhance others and to help those wake up themselves. So for people waking up right now, it's really, you're going to be on the fast track to awakening, and I hope it's safe for you, because this is not nothing to play with. This is ancient spirituality, the first spirituality that was here. This is exactly what this is. So for you to awaken that spirit of Kundalini, Rasa Kem, and to, maximize your chi energy, which is the energy of the universe, it's the real spirit, and it's a feminine spirit. So for those of you that are too masculine or think, oh, wait a minute, man, I ain't gonna. Once you activate this spirituality, you're gonna have to be open-minded, or it's gonna kick you in. Like I said, it's gonna kick you in your behind over and over again. So you got to be open to these things, because if you're not, you can't reverse it. You're just gonna be stuck at a certain level to where, like, dang. And I don't even know. I don't even want to think about that, because that's at a level that that's not something I'm thinking about. And I wish that on nobody. So you're on a fast track to awakening, and you're going to go through some, maybe the Almighty Spirit, and if you have spirit guides, I don't know if you do, if they've contacted you or you contacted them, or you have permission to speak with the ancestors and have the ancestors help you. I'm not sure, but you're going to go through some things, and it's a fast track, especially if it's happening right now. I just hope and I meditate that you all are safe, and that you don't suffer too much. Who knows? It could just be an awakening, and you're like, dang, I'm instantly enlightened. You never know, because things can happen that way. I am going to make a part 2, because I'm not talking about everything I want to talk about, and the time's going to run out. So, yes, it's new energies coming onto this planet. It's exactly what ancient spiritualities from all over this world have been talking about, from the Mayans to the the Aztecs, every tribe and indigenous peoples from throughout Africa, China, Asia, India, Australia, the Americas, Mesoamerica, have been talking about this moment in time, this pivotal moment in time. They've been talking about this. Why is it that Christianity, Islam, and Catholicism, they don't talk about this moment? They talk about, Revelations and the end of the world and stuff like that, but this is the end of their world. Why do you think they're pulling out the stops for the people awakening right now? Why do you think so-called coronavirus happened at a certain pivotal time, and they're trying to vaccinate everybody? When has that ever happened? I mean, come on. When 9/11 happened in 2001, I went to school that day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was in high school at the time, and when 9/11 happened, I went to school that day. Yeah, they had a mass, they wanted everybody to pray and assemble around the flag and all that stuff and do that ritual. But I went to school that day. In terrorist attacks, if somebody attacks, it's different. A biological attack is different. I'm not saying this is an attack. It's an attack on the people, because they unleashed this at a certain time to try to dumb down everything. This is their last fight. I don't want to say it's gonna get worse, but they're gonna try to pull out all the stops, and their people are gonna try to pull out all the stops. They're not people. Well, they're people, but they don't have spirits within them. They're empty vessels. But yeah, when the attacks happened, I went to school that day, and this country could have got attacked by any other country that day. It could have been all-out war, and people still went to school. When coronavirus happened, everything stopped. And that's not even like it was a so-called terrorist attack. But they declared war on the people, like they have been doing. But this is really a war in the world, not just an attack on a certain part of the land. This is a war in the world, and they're trying to get everybody vaccinated and things like that. So what I'm saying is that they're pulling out all the stops on the chosen ones, on the Almighty's descendants, and that goes for the gods and especially the goddesses, because the men are responsible for, the matter that come into this matrix as far as this vessel. but the women are responsible for a certain spirit that signed a contract to come here. Women are responsible for that. So you bring that spirit through you. Enoch the Freestyle Prince said it. He said the women carry portals. The women are the portals between the spiritual realm and this realm. So goddesses, you got to step up yourselves. You really got to get spiritual and tune out the women that ain't got your back, the women that are empty vessels, the women that are the same as these men or even worse, because they can control their men sometimes, and they're going to go back and forth themselves. Those empty vessels, they're just not going to do nothing but fight. And when you're elevated, when you're ascended, when you're woke, and you're congregating with your tribe, you can recognize who is who, and you'll watch the devil fight, and they'll fight amongst themselves. But we know how to get rid of them. So goddesses, you got to wake up. You got to, in order for a man to keep his spirituality and ascend and do all that stuff, it starts with the woman. It really does. And I'm not afraid to say it because like I said, my Kundalini's been activated for years, and I understand and I know that this is the feminine energy, but it's also masculine, but it's really a feminine energy. I'm gonna make a part two. But yeah, women gotta wake up. Without you, there's no us, really. I'm saying it. That's why they tried to take your rights away, not first, but come on now.